Go. Hey everyone, hoping you're having a great day. It's your host, Grow with Joe, here to explain another topic from my book, More You Know, More You Grow, How to Get Better Every Day. And today we're going to talk about the chapter, you don't go by eyesight, you go by mindsight. And what that basically means is you don't let your environment determine who you need to be as a person. See, if I was to let my environment determine who I wanted to be in the future, I would have not achieved as much as I wanted to achieve. See, as a kid, I was overweight. My parents were blue-collar workers. Overweight. Parents were blue-collar workers. As an immigrant, grew up pretty good. But I think what really helped me was that I had an environment where I could see potential. Like I went to a school, my parents made sure I went to a good school where there was kids from trailer parks and kids from mansions going to the same school. Myself grew up in a mobile home, but my parents made sure I went to a good school and we lived in a safe spot and everything and not a lot of distractions. So that really helped me understand, like, okay, my environment is not going to determine who I'm going to be as a person. And it's really important to see how other people are doing in your circle of friends or circle of parents to see like what is possible for you as an individual. See, since I was interacting with kids at the same school whose parents lived in really nice houses and everything, it just made me realize, and I was performing just as well academically as those folks, it made me realize that, hey, if I continue working on myself, working on my education and everything, then I can get that good life as well. And so that's basically why I went in the Marines and was like, okay, I'm going to challenge myself so I can get my education paid for, got my education and everything. Got a bachelor's degree in public health, economics, moved to DC, became a financial advisor, tried to start 4 different businesses, and this is number 4 right here. And yeah, if I was just to go by eyesight and not my mind, like what I pictured myself obtaining in the future, then I wouldn't have made it very far. And that really, to really understand where you can go in life, you just have to understand your goals. So going back to let me pull up the whiteboard right here. Coming up soon. Oops, wrong whiteboard. Let me share my iPad. There we go. It's taking its time. It seems like the technology is not as performing as well as I wanted today. Today I wanted to do a Facebook Live, but that's not working. So now we're just doing the Zoom, and then I'm going to record this to Facebook later. It's not connecting to the iPad. All right, so I'm just gonna stop sharing that because it's not working right now. I'm not sure why it's not working, but yeah, so the key thing is you have to understand like who you want to be in the future. So like for myself, trying to start this business because I wanted to grow and help people just live the best lives that they can. I just want people to realize that their history is not their future and that you can grow yourself by putting energy into those 4 cornerstones: your physical self, your mental self, your spiritual self, and your emotional self, to get a life that you're looking for. And I'm gonna just restart this iPad right here. But yeah, just understand your why. It goes back to that Simon Simon Sinek book, Start With Why First. So understand why you want to do all these things. So I knew as a kid I wanted to be financially secure, just have a good life where you just didn't have to worry about money and everything. And so that's basically why I went in the Marines. And I knew I needed an education because that was something that's preached to me in school. So that's why I focused on going to school so much, taking night classes. When I was in the Marines, I would have to wake up during some periods, not every period, but like there was one like year-long period where I had to wake up at 5 a.m. to get information for our PT, our physical training, and then we would exercise for an hour, and then we go eat, then I go to work. Be at work by like 8:00, 8:30, and then I get off work at like 4:30, and then go get something to eat, then go to class. Sometimes I had 2 classes in one day, and I would get home at like 9:00, and then I would just go straight to bed because I had to wake up at 5 a.m. the next morning to go do physical training. And that was basically Monday through Friday, waking up there. So by Friday, some days I would just get home and I would just fall asleep at 4:00 or 4:30 and not wake up until 7 a.m. the next day just because I was just so exhausted. But I stuck with that routine because I realized that, hey, the more schoolwork I can do right now, the less I'm going to have to do in the future. So when I get out of the Marines, I'm not going to have to spend all this time in school. I could get straight in the workforce and really do what I want to do in life. And one of the reasons why I want to start this business and everything is to help people, but also give me the flexibility where I don't have to be in an office and just coach people virtually on how they can develop themselves into better versions of themselves. So covering like time management, covering the how to grow yourself physically. I was a personal trainer back in the day. Mentally, just take all the lessons I learned from the 200 books, 5,000 hours of podcasts. Emotionally, just the same thing, the books and everything. And just following the Stoic philosophy to help me become a stronger person mentally, spiritually. I got that term from a Phil Jackson book. What I mean by spiritually is self-actualization. You know who you want to be as a person, and you're being who you want to be as a person. So you know your goals, your values, your principles for life, and I would write them down, and that's what I did with this book right here. More you know, more you grow is all my principles and tactics to help me live the life that I want to live. And one of those tactics is you got to go by mindsight, not by eyesight. If I was just to see what I wanted to accomplish in life, I'm not going to get the life that I want to have. You really have to go by your mind. So I'm visualizing the future that I want to have. And now when I'm doing something painful, like writing a podcast episode or record or editing a podcast episode or updating my website and everything, updating my emails and everything for my courses, it could be painful. But by going by mindset, realizing that, hey, if I do this work and doing all these recording these videos and everything, it's just really going to help me down the road. One big reason why I'm recording all these videos is because I want to have a portfolio of my work to show people like, hey, Joe knows what he's talking about. And the more videos I will create, just the more contact I will create with people and just have something to like, hey, go. Joe has all these videos. He has a book and everything. He's an expert. And I really feel like that's what this economy is coming down to is you really have to be an expert in your field. And how do you show you're an expert in your field? You're either going to have friends that are going to root for you, or you could just have all this content that shows that you're an expert in your field. And that's basically what I'm doing right now with Grow Joe is just developing all this content based on all of these books. And I know I started reading a lot of books back in the day because somebody said that the average CEO reads 36 books a year. So if I want to be the CEO of myself, I'm going to read 36 books a year. And then I also found out that 60% of college graduates never read another book again. And to read a book, it could take you 5 to 10 hours to read that book. And sometimes you read the entire book and you just get that there's only like 5 pages that really applies to you and really affects you. Sometimes with some books are good all the way through. Some books are like, you could have done better. But like, there's like that one little thing that really helps you out. I remember reading this book called The Brother Karamazov, And I only got two things out of that book, and it was like a 800-page book, and it was written by this Russian author. I can't pronounce it, Fyodor Dostoevsky or something like that. And it was hard to read, but I really gained some great lessons from that book. One of the lessons is don't lie to yourself. It's the worst thing that you can do for yourself. And then there's another story about the Grand Inquisitor, which basically states that you should just, if it's not entirely true, you should just do it just because it's better for society. It was an interesting topic that I'm think about routinely, about like policy and like what causes people to, or just to say things, and just it was eye-opening. And like I would not have gotten those lessons if I did not read those books. But yeah, I'm reading those books because I'm looking for, I would go through a book and just chug through it, because even like I just do those for books that are like really well known or whatever. So like right now I'm trying to read the Ayn Rand book, Atlas Shrugged. I'm not really enjoying it that much, but I know a lot of people really enjoy the book and use it for arguments and everything. So I'm like, okay, if they're going to use it in an argument, okay, if I want to better understand the argument, then I better read that book and try to understand why would they think that way. And you got the general gist of it. It's like you want to reward good behavior and things that are beneficial to society, and punish things that are not beneficial to society. That's basically what the book is about. And I don't know, it's just, I'm not really enjoying the flow of it, but I'm going to finish it. I'm on page 203 of like 1,000 right now. So hopefully I should be finishing it in about a month. But like I go by mindsight because I like, hey, I know if I read this book and I'm going to come across, this is what people do, and it's like just on my list. I'll finish it and just move on to the next thing, and just makes me a stronger individual. But like I'm doing all those work for Grow a Joe, and I'm just starting this new business and everything, and it's a lot of work, a lot of up and down moments, and you just have to go by mindsight. If I was to say like, hey, this is what I have, I have nothing right now, it's not working out for me. If I was just like, that's the mindset that's going to tell you to stop. But if you have the mindset like, hey, if I got this, if I keep doing this over and over again, and it's going to pay off. What really helps you with going is just hearing the story of other entrepreneurs that have done their own thing, and I just follow their path. I just like, okay, just keep with it. It might take a year, it might take 2 years before it really kicks off, but I just have to continue doing it. I just recently moved back to Oregon to start this business and everything. And I wrote this book, More You Know, More You Grow, about 1.5 years ago in 2017, September, but I didn't really do a very good job at marketing it. And so that I really feel like this is an opportunity to, I don't know, give me more flexibility and control over myself, and just give me the life that I want to live. One of the reasons why I work so hard on doing this and everything is because I'm trying to move to Latin America for 2 years so I can learn Spanish, so I can learn how to translate all this content in Spanish, and just provide me a lot of opportunities. And yeah, that's why I'm doing this work, because I realize that the more work I do this, the more the opportunity that I could be a digital nomad in Latin America and just start learning Spanish. I feel like immersion is the best way. It's just easier that way for myself than trying to like do Duolingo. Duolingo's good up to a point where you can learn like the basics, like I'm hungry, I'm sleepy, how are you, hi, and everything. But then it's not very good at helping you with those complex conversations that you could have with a friend or somebody, or telling jokes or whatever. So I'm working on that right now, and just busy staying on everything. And so that's why every day I'm recording a podcast. That's why every day I'm writing. That's why every day I'm doing something, just so like the more work, because I know the more work I do today, the less work I'm going to have to do in the future. And it's just going by mindset. I've realized that, hey, where I'm at right now is not who I am going to be in the future. And then I'm also gaining a lot of skills and everything, getting better at writing, getting better doing video work. At first, this was very uncomfortable, but I just realized if I go by mindsight and not by eyesight, like, hey, I'm not doing the best video that I can, and I will get better with time. And then also I could use this as a highlight reel that I could show people 10 years ago. Look at my videos 10 years ago. Look at me today and what I'm doing. And yeah, it just shows that the progress. The more work you put into yourself, the better off you're going to be in the future. And that's what it really comes down to, is you have to have that growth mindset that says, I can grow into the future version of myself that I want to accomplish. And I really would say that you really have to go back to the Simon. I think I went on a tangent, but you want to go follow that Simon Sinek book. Start with why. So you really have to start with why. Why are you doing all this? Why are you continue down this path? It's probably be simpler for me to go get a 9-to-5 job and just do that and say it's over. But like my why is like, I want to create a business that's really going to help the most people. How can I save my slice of the world? So my slice of the world is I'm trying to help professional Latinos like reach that next level to help them get a better career, better finances, better. And just, we need a lot of work as Latinos. I feel like we have our glass ceiling right here while other folks have their glass ceiling right here. And it just because like we're in an environment where we don't see a lot of opportunities. And there's this one book called The Third Door, the author, Alex Banyan, I think that's his name. He was talking to a teacher and he was describing just like the process, or heard the story. And the teacher had an exercise or like an assignment where the students, I think they're in the second or third grade or whatever, had to draw a photo of the career that they wanted in the future. And then there's this one like African-American kid that just took a little time to get started and then eventually started. And what the picture was a picture of a delivery man delivering pizzas. And that's because his uncle, that's the only job that he recognizes in his environment and his family that someone has where they're not in trouble or they're not doing. So that's what he's aspiring to. And I feel like one of the worst things that we can have as an individual is wasted potential. We should be able to realize what is possible for us, and just being exposed to these different ideas and everything helps you realize that, hey, where you are in life is not who you are in life, and you can grow yourself. The internet makes it really easy to gain a lot of information. It's also a really good place to get distracted by focusing on the wrong things. So I really have to understand your why. Like, what is your thing that you really want to focus on in life? I would highly recommend that you take a personality test like Myers-Briggs or DISC, just to realize what type of individual you are. Like when I took DISC, I'm a C person. I'm an introvert by heart, but I know that if I want to do all this stuff, I have to put myself out there and just start being an extrovert. So I'm a C by heart. I'm a conscientious person. I'm very detail oriented, introvert more likely, but I've done a lot of work to grow myself as an individual, because I realized like, okay, where I'm at right now and the current skills I have is not going to get me to where I want to go in the future. So I have to do all this work. And so what I did is I took improv classes, I took a storytelling class, went to a network boot camp for a week. And now I'm just someone just said, create 90, Russell Brunson, he's a marketing guy. He just said, start creating a YouTube video, Facebook Live every day for 90 days. And you'll get better and you'll get your message out there, and then you sharpen it, and then you'll get the life that you want. And like looking for me, I'm like, I just need a certain amount of clients to help that I can coach to help them get the lives that they want. And so like the way I do that is I do a time management audit. So we go over your goals, we go over all the tasks that you do, and then we figure out, okay, what is the things that we need to focus on right now, and just then give you tactics like time blocking, yesterday, tomorrow, today, tomorrow report to help you stop focusing on the unimportant stuff and start focusing on the important stuff in life. So that's so I guess like in terms of the coaching, that's what I help people just realize, okay, this is the future that they want. This is the mind. This is the mindsight. Okay. This is your environment. Don't focus on this. Focus on the process to help you get where you want, and just realize that, hey, you just got to do it. You just got to have the right strategy and the right plan to help you reach your goals. If you suck at your plan and your strategy, then getting to your goals is not going to help you out very well. It's not enough to say, oh, I want to have this future. You really have to have a plan, right strategies, and then you have to take action. And yeah, that's basically what you got to do to become successful. Just have your why, because when life gets tough, because things never work out on the first time, never work out. They hardly ever work out on the first go about, and things are always going to take longer than you expect. It's going to happen. So by having a good why and a good mindset, then it's going to help you get past those difficult moments right now. Like, I've been waiting 4 months for these apartments to come in, and I just got to continue wait, just follow up when I can, and just focus on the other stuff that I can do in the meantime to help me just become a better person in the future. So I'm going by mindsight. I'm not going by my eyesight, and I'm just doing the work. And you just got to do the same thing as well. And so that's basically what that chapter covers. And the more you know, more you grow right here. If you want to like get a visual about it, you can get my book for free. You just go to growwithjoe.me/book and just pay for shipping and handling. I also have a quiz on my website at growwithjoe.me/quiz. It's going to grade your inner circle. So it's going to tell you if your inner circle is an A, B, C, D, or F. And like the John Wooden quote says, your outer circle success will never surpass your inner circle success. So the inner circle, if your inner circle score is a B, that means you're going to have like B relationships, B career, B personal finances. It's not a perfect number, something that I created based on all these books but it's just to give you the self-awareness that this is roughly what you have with your life. So make sure that you take that quiz right there, and it's just going to give you a more insight on like what you need to do for your future. So it just builds self-awareness. Self-awareness is key. The more self-awareness about your strengths and your weaknesses, the better off you're going to be. So make sure you reflect on your strengths and your weaknesses. Just because you're at the top, like, doesn't mean you don't need help to help you become the best version of yourself. Tiger Woods has like 7 different coaches, swing coach, a putting coach, like all these different people helping him out with his game at the game of golf. Same thing, basketball players, football players, soccer players, they all have their individual coaches to help them develop specific areas of their life. And so this book is just to help you get self-awareness on what you need to improve on with your life. And like I said, just get a free copy at growwithjoe.me/book and just pay for shipping and handling, which is $5, and we'll ship you a copy right away. Yeah, and if you have any questions, you can shoot me a message on Instagram or Facebook at growwithjoe, or Twitter at growwithjoe as well. And tomorrow we'll be here at the same time. Hopefully Facebook Live is working, but I'm going to upload this to Facebook as soon as it's ready to go. So enjoy the rest of your day, everyone, and take care.